Attenzione, mancano 10 minuti all'inizio della gara e 4 minuti alla partenza del primo appuntamento. Attention, at the start of the race and 4 minutes until the start of the first forerunner. We inform you also that the Ampezzo is open and also so when people are with you. Minuti all'inizio della gara e 4 minuti. Now the forerunner is in Ampezzo and arrived.
Welcome back to Cortina d'Ampezzo in the Italian Dolomites, the venue for the 2026 Winter Olympic Games. We're at the Pista Olimpica Eugenio Monti, named after Italy's most famous slider and Cortina's most famous son, Eugenio Monti, the multiple world and Olympic bobsleigh champion from Cortina. We're here for the opening race weekend of the IBSF World Cup, and today it is bobsleigh day. Women's monobob this morning and the two-man this afternoon. Heading into the second heat, Sylvia Hoffman, we have the top 10 covered by 0.3 of a second, but it is super tight at the top.
Oh yeah, definitely. This season has kicked off to an amazing start. We have Laura coming up in third place, and then we also have Keisha Love sitting in second right now, and then followed by Melanie Hasler sitting in first. This first heat was crazy, Martin, but so many great things happened. We were able to learn the track. The athletes were able to learn the track. They now know what needs to happen in the second heat for them to move up in the rankings.
Well, not much of a move for Keisha Love, just 1/100th off the lead. But as you say, it is Melanie Hasler looking for her first win in women's monobob, who was the extremely excited first heat leader.
Oh, I would have been extremely excited as well. She came down and she was like, wow, I put down a smoker. Let's do it again. I'm super pumped. This is the Olympic track that we're going to be back on in February, so she is happy to be here. Look at that.
Yeah, absolutely. And look how tight it is. 100th first to second. Lauren Alter 700ths away. Kaylee Humphries 800ths away. Brianna Walker, Lisa Bukvitz, don't count them out. And maybe even a big run from Kim Kalicki, just 2400ths away, could put her into the running. Now, you might be asking where some of our familiar names are. You saw Alana Myers-Taylor down there in 18th place. She and Cynthia Appiah had an absolute nightmare in the first few corners. And the first 4 corners on this track can win or lose the race, no question about that. So even those front runners, I would say to you, can just as easily trip over those first 4 corners in their second heat.
Oh man, there were lots of trouble happening in the first 4 corners, Strias, Verzi, Cinto, and the first of the labyrinths. So this particular track, it goes by names and not necessarily by numbers, but all of us are trying to get to know the track, so we start with numbers because it's so easy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 16, and then we start learning the names, and then we really get in depth with the track.
Yeah. It is. It's a very tricky track to learn. So many potential hazards. In our second heat, the fastest 20 from heat 1 go in reverse order. So Cynthia Appiah will be first off, hoping that Strias and Verzi treat her just a little better than her first run. And last to go will be Mel Hasler, looking to defend that enormous lead of a single 100th of a second. They are racked up. Anyone in the top 6, absolutely anyone, could be our race winner today.
Now, how bobsled goes is the first heat, we have everyone go down, and then there's the ending heat order. So that ending heat order is the start order of the second heat, which means Cynthia will start us off first. She is a big-time pusher, lovely athlete, lovely driver. Slips in a little bit with that left hand. 5:53 start.
All right, 5:49 in the first heat, but she didn't load very cleanly and had trouble down into the first couple of corners. It's not the tidiest run, but it's way better than her first trip down.
Yes, yes, it is, Martin. Still snapping off that corner, a little bit high on the exit, but it still shoots out nicely, which we want.
Little square tap. And out of Belvedere, Bandion. Just a little short run down through K2. The Rettifilo, the straight down to Antelau and Cristallo, two legendary names from 70 years of sliding on this Cortina track. Nice straight run as she drops down into Tofana.
There we go. There it is.
Yeah. She's going to have a very different looking face to the end of the first run.
Like, why did this happen the first run?
Yeah. 60.06 compared to 60.75.
Massive increase.
Yeah, that's a huge difference. And all of that time went in the first few corners. It's like a drag race. If you don't accelerate off the line, you're never going to catch up. Well, here we go. This again is looping down out of Verzi. Now she hit hard there and pinged to the wall on this side, then across, then back, then across. That's so much tidier.
Right. The second heat was so much nicer. She knew what to do. And the thing is sometimes you just make those mistakes, and it's a new track. New track, new things to learn, but that's the thing about being a pilot. You get better each run you take.
Yeah. Well, that is a lot better. And at least she got a second heat as well, so she did make it through. So she's the marker then. And that means that everybody else will have to try and step up their game a little too. Georgeta Popescu next up for Romania, the Youth Olympic champion in girls monobob back in 2020. And gradually starting to develop her push speed as well. That's really the flaw in her drive at the moment. She does drive the sled well, but she gives away a lot of time at the start. 5.73 in the first heat, 5.74 in the second.
That is consistent, though. What we want in those start times is a consistency, and then that way it can set you up for the next run. A lot of trouble there going into Cento, the first three corners. We saw a little bit of that in the first heat, but the second heat, again, like, the objective is to do better each time you go down the hill.
Quite lucky that was not her first heat. She would not have got a second run just from those corners alone. So much speed bleeding away.
And she's already in the red, so she's already dropped back behind Cynthia.
Well, she's gone from a 10th behind Cynthia to 1.3 seconds behind. All of that fishtailing. Effectively, you might as well have walked off at the start. No, seriously, it just rips all the speed out of the sled, doesn't it? So, a horrible, horrible run off the start line. And the rest of it, she's got the sled under control. And she's adapted to the fact that it's not going as quickly as she's expecting.
Yeah.
So Cynthia picks off the first one. And again, exactly shows where the trip hazards are that could get anyone.
Anyone. And that's the biggest thing. It could literally get anyone. So Cynthia's a little bit happy. She's able to stay in that leader's box for a little bit longer. There was issues coming out of, so there was a little bit of
just avoided the short wall in the bottom.
She's trying to avoid the short wall so much to where now there's so many issues coming out of Strias and Verzi.
Yeah. She actually sort of got into Strias okay, but then she drove it into the inside trying to and then
see those runner tips. Really trying to avoid the short wall. It is sending it. She's like, no, cut it, next.
Just cancel that one.
She knows what she did.
Look, it is a World Cup race. It is for points, but these are training runs.
Correct.
Well, you just saw what happened to Georgeta. That's what happened to Cynthia and to Alana Myers-Taylor, our Olympic silver medalist in monobob. So it can happen to the very best of them. Now, hopefully she'll have a tidier run through this time.
Let's see. All right, 55 start. Second best start.
Now, she gets tapped away there as well, and it's the same as we just saw from Georgeta.
Losing that back end, it's getting really hard into Cento. Coming into the labyrinth.
Same as her first heat. That same tap just pinballs you down. One corner feeds immediately into the next. You've got no chance to recover. She's 4 tenths behind Cynthia Pia.
Baby on into K2. Now we're going into Antalau. Really high, kind of wavy.
Yeah, even after those first 4 corner errors, this is not a good-looking run from Alana.
It's not the typical run we would see from Alana, but again, it is our first time at the track. Sometimes, again, it takes a while for it to stick. Get those runs under you, come back, and then you can crush it.
Well, 2 runs that would happily have been left in training. Now, the Swiss Army, the Alpini, are here, ready to help with the sleds if they don't make it up. And in fact, in echoes of the old Cortina, they've got hooks and ropes to grab the sled if it doesn't make it.
And I thought that was so nice of them. I was really happy to see that the Italian, their military is here helping us out. And that is something that is very unique, you know, especially with Monobob. They're coming in, they're helping us get the sled off the track.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of trouble here and there for E. You know, she'll go back, you know, she'll talk with the coaches. Yeah, big. She's just letting it, it's doing whatever it wants in there.
she's trying to lead with the front runners. That's what you steer with. But the back's got a mind at the back, was entirely not playing the game at all. Yingqing of China, she made the cut. Teammate Wai Mingming did not. Wai was in 6th in the Olympics in Beijing. I thought that she might have had a good shot, but again, first couple of corners caught her out. So let's see what happens to Ying. This is going to be really interesting because it's not like these athletes are going to do hundreds more trips before the games. They might do a dozen more trips before the games in the international training week, but it's still going to be a learning process all the way through a 4-heat race.
Now, she did a 52 in her second heat start, which is 500s better than her first heat, which is really, really nice. That means she has a little bit more in the tank. She's a little bit more comfortable. She knows how to run down the crest. And now she has the second best speed in the labyrinth.
57.1 miles an hour. Cynthia Pia 57.4. Doesn't sound like much, but the margins are tiny. Still not quite as quick as the Canadian sled.
Let's see if she has Carmina Cristallo. Nice exit. Look at her shoot the chicane. Going into Tofana.
And that'll help build her speed.
And then Ampezzo. Now she's going into the uphill section.
Cynthia had better speed all the way down. Does she hold on? No.
Wow.
No,
what a run. Cynthia is super happy about that. And it's by 100, so it really makes you feel that I did what I could. I did what I could. And now she's still in the leader's box, super happy about that.
Yeah. You could see that coming. The gap was coming down, and the speed wasn't there. So although the lines were nice, the speed you lose in the first 3 or 4 corners follows you to the line. Interesting load from Ying.
Oh.
Disappears completely from sight.
Wow.
And then pops back up to get the D-rings. That's the very first time I think I've seen anybody do that. Some athletes get the back handles and vault in over the top of the seat. Some walk in, which seems to me to be the slightly less risky option.
You know what's crazy is in Monobob, I actually did a step in as opposed to launching in.
Yeah.
In 2-man, I actually launch in the sled and not necessarily step in the sled.
Well, that's because you don't have to get in and drive it.
That part.
That's the difference. If it had autopilot, everybody would be, you know, loading like a brake woman.
Yeah.
All right, Linda Wojciechowski of Poland then. She was the very first to start a monobob race on this track. So her name goes down in history. She had the first ever start and track record. 5:54. She's gone faster than her previous start, but that's no longer the record. Little tap into Verzi, corner 2. Curva 3, cento, curva 4.
High off that corner.
Yeah.
And coming into the labyrinth. Looking nice. I'm watching her runner tips. I'm seeing what she's doing. Is she steering on these exits or is she letting it go? Has she already done the work?
Ooh, dropping behind Cynthia Pia. And only the third, 4th best speed, 3rd best speed now.
It's Antalau and Cristallo.
Just a couple too many little skids and taps. There's another one.
Down the chicane into Tofana.
Came into Tefana quite nicely. I don't think she's going to catch Cynthia. First to second is just 100th.
Uh-oh,
it's third at the line.
Oh.
Yep. Well, it's like the leaders, you know, they're only 100th apart. That's a dead heat by the human eye. There's no way you can see that. There's no way you can time that with a thumb and a stopwatch. And so, yeah, our current leaders, Cynthia Pia, Ying Qing, they're a dead heat. So that's either you beat them both or you're behind them both. You can't split them.
She almost roofed it there.
Yeah.
Oh, coming down. She's trying to straighten it up.
And that's where all the speed goes.
And see, now we're seeing if she's working off that corner or not. She's already done the work.
John Morgan's great phrase, the graveyard of time.
Runner
Normally that's low down on the run. Graveyard of time here is Cento Verzi, Verzi Cento. It's almost before you've got settled in the sled. 5 down, 15 to go here in Cortina. Race 1 of the Women's Monobob World Cup, and a new name, Inola Blatti, the Europe Cup champion from last year.
550.
550 start.
200's better than her first.
And a tidy enough run from Verzi into the big left at Cento.
2800's up. She has the start behind her. Now it's about the drive.
Now, if you're a coach and you've got a brand new driver on their World Cup debut, you give them runners that will give them control rather than the fattest, fastest runners that they might otherwise want, because you've got to build confidence.
Oh, a little wild in there.
And still a quarter of a second up on Cynthia Appiah. Now, she hasn't got the speed.
Oh, just that fast.
Yep.
300's up.
There you go.
Now that's going to be a main part of the track that everyone's going to be watching. How are you up 25 now? You're back 3.
It was Bandion, K2, Antelau, Cristallo. She went from a quarter of a second up to 3/10 back. And it was not in the early section that speed went away, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So again, yeah, everybody's going to be scratching their heads looking at this going, okay, let's roll that back. Here's where she was. Here's where she was. Here's okay, there's the big skid.
Because this is K2, she's still up here.
Yeah.
And it was looking really nice. This was a nice run.
But Belvedere, Bandion, Antelau, Cristallo were a little skiddy. So at that stage, she's still got the speed.
So all of that right there.
And again, they're dropping into Tefana. The sled's turning right, the track's turning left. That's just digging into the
early
ice.
on. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, shit.
Drat. So she drops 4 places, but she's made a World Cup debut.
Good for her.
And you
so
only
happy.
get to do that once. And she made the cut. So
and she made the cut. That is step 1.
So next up for Belgium, Kelly van Pettigem. And Van Nieuwenhuis on the back, right behind the athlete. Her former driver, now the coach. And on tour with her young daughter as well. Yet another sliding mum.
Nice load.
5:55, right in the zone. Just a 300s quicker than her previous best.
A little tap going into Cento.
Landed quite nicely off there. She had a big skid, but she didn't then get rattled around through Verzi and Cento. So
now she is high on these exits, and we will see that start to take effect if she can't clean it up. So she's having to work really hard, so which means the timing is slightly off.
she's gone from 2100s up to 1300s, only the 4th best speed, so she'll be in the red by the time she gets out at Cristallo.
Little tap there. Nice entry. Bit wavy.
3rd best speed. Oh, she's not quite in the red. She's level with Cynthia Appiah, but she does not have the speed. The Canadian sled was the fastest all the way down the track. So she drops back by a 10th. And again, with just 100th between Cynthia Appiah and Ying Qing of China, Kelly dropping to 3rd place. Well, 60.91, 4 tenths, 6.39 rather, just a couple of tenths quicker than her previous run. So a little faster start, little tidier effort. This again, K2.
She's working really hard to get off that corner. She knows she has to get off.
dropping down into Tofana.
If you see those lines, that's where
Yeah.
most of the sleds go. And she's a little bit late going into there. She's a little bit high in that midsection of the corner.
So we've just seen one Swiss sled, Inola Blatti, our rookie. Here is the second, Deborah Annan. So Deborah, whose dad raced on this track in period back in the late 90s, early noughties.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah. Trying to dig in there.
Now, those sleds are really heavy, the monobobs. They can be pretty heavy, but she was able to get a 62 start time, 7th best for the second heat.
So neatly into Strias, the first left, and then Verzi, the first right, then Verzi, the first left. And then down into Cento.
Now, this track has a left, right, left, right,
Yeah.
left, right.
Yeah.
And then it kind of evens itself out after Bandion.
Second best speed. She's gone from 2900s to 2100s up, so that gap will continue to decrease unless she can find a bit more velocity. There it is.
2300s up, best speed.
So quicker.
It looks like she took a low line so she can have a lot more control going off that corner.
But again, turning right as Tofana goes left, so that's going to squeeze a bit more speed out of the sled. Was a quarter second up. Should be enough to take it at the line. And
Here
it is.
2600s. Good job.
Okay, so now they have to go back and look at the video and go, okay, so she was on the wrong side out of the chicane, heading right into the left at Tofana, and somehow kept the speed up. How did that happen?
All of these things are going to be looked at. Like, I'm looking at them. I'm not even driving right now, but she kind of roofs it a little bit,
she
catches
did.
a little bit of the woodwork.
And it's always the back bunk. It's always the tail, and it's the same in the two-man sled as well. Boom, the tail goes up, and if you're really unlucky, the tail hits hard early, and then that brings the nose up as well, and then you are in, I've got to save
a nice low line all the way around. It looks like she tried to not have any waves as she's catching those pressures in there. She's leveling out the waves.
I think a little bit like the Kreisel in Altenburg is if you try and avoid anything other than a flat line around, then you have a much better chance of making the exit.
Oh, yeah, I know. Altenburg is that Kreisel is something else.
It is. Now then, second fastest starter in the field, and our other rookie, Maya Voigt, with only 2 previous starts under her belt.
Oh, there it
5:38.
is. 38. That's what we want to see. Something fast. She's coming in. She wants it. She's trying to pick people off. It's the second heat. Time for a change, which is to move up in the top 10.
Well, for a small nation like Denmark, and Maya Voigt, 18 years old, only her second World Cup start. But if she is going to continue with that sort of starting speed and then get any better at driving, she's going to be a massive threat.
Oh, she gets stuck on that left wall. Really high there. Oh, a little late.
2800s up,
You
still.
notice her line was also nice and low and round.
Still got
really nice.
decent speed, 1700s. This is going to be down to a couple of hundreds at the line.
Here we go, out of Ampezzo. Up to Arrivo, and let's see what she has.
Plus or minus 10, okay.
There it is.
60.13. Her first heat was a 60.32.
That's a lot better than her first heat.
But a start record as
There it
well.
is. Now, this hurts me a little bit because we know that I have those fast starts, and every time I see Mono, I'm like, oh, that could be me, no. But she did amazing.
Yeah.
Strong push, and she really wanted that drive. And that's the thing. It's about competition. It's competitive. And the crazy thing is it's not necessarily you're competing against other people. You're competing against time. You're competing against yourself. And so she's like, I just want to be better than I was last heat.
Yep.
And she was.
Well, she had a year trying skeleton and then converted to bobsleigh.
That good old helmet. Can never get it off.
These are things you
Never
learn
get it off.
as you get more experiences, how to get your helmet off. All right, so Maya Voigt, 12th after the first heat. Just ahead of her was Kati Bile in 11th place. And the gap was 1700ths of a second.
Let's see. She pushed the 50 last heat. This heat, 49. There you go, girl.
So she still has some of that lead left over Maya, just 1200ths. Little tap.
Now, we haven't seen many taps like that coming out of Verzi for a while. But we also know anything can happen.
And that is putting the brakes on.
Really into the labyrinth. Looks like she has them online. Now, you still want to let it flow, but this labyrinth is slightly different from the other labyrinths. They're not necessarily long and normal. There's a little bit more curvature to it.
10 sled down. She's only got the 9th best speed. She is going to drop down the order. Cynthia Pia, 3rd place, 3600s back. Yingqing, 3700s back. So she's only going to be 3rd or 5th. I'm afraid my money may be on dropping behind to 5th place at the line. Let's see how close she is.
Number 3.
Oh, okay, 2900s back. She just stays in 3rd place. Wolfgang Stanford on the right, Benny Meyer on the left.
Happened?
Look, you know, there's nobody needs to be told now.
Oh no!
The first 4 corners are going to get you.
And at this point, they're used to the sleds just coming up slowly over that last little bit of braking stretch. And she lost a lot of speed, so she didn't have much to get up there. But she got rattled a little bit. You see her head kind of getting a little whiplash, a little ping pong there on the cowling, which does take it out of you.
And again, in K2, she came very left on the straight out of Cristallo, so she was completely on the wrong side there. Flicked on, flicked off, and those skids as well.
Yeah, so she's feeling that head action that she was taking on in those corners. Rough run, but today is over.
See, now, if it's that physical, but you lead, you're kind of okay with that. If it's that physical and you've dropped back, then it hurts a lot more.
Yeah, it does. It's like, oh, you see the time, and it's like, oh, no. So this is what we have after the first heat. We have some changes in the standings. Martin, what do you see?
Yeah, Maya Voigt hanging on to the lead, so she's crept up 1. She was 12th after the first heat. She'll be no worse than 11th. There are 10 to go. And actually, with the start and the run that she had, there's another couple of sleds that were just a few hundreds ahead of Catty Bile. So we could be looking at Maya potentially moving up another 2 or 3 spots. So Deborah Annan in 2nd place, Catty Bile in 3rd. Cynthia Pia climbed up the order from
she did.
From last to she'll be no worse than, let's say, 15th, 16th probably.
16th,
everybody's starting to figure out, at least see where the tripwires are on this track, and then which ones are really, really critical and which ones are maybe a little less. Some of the taps that you see taking are going to be fairly ineffectual on your time. It's the skids that kill you.
Yeah, I think the K2, there is a trickiness to that corner. It it is a slight uphill, but then it turns down left. So you kind of can't see that exit. It's almost like a blind exit until you get over that little hump in the middle of K2, which I think a lot of people are losing time there.
Yeah. It's a tricky little thing, isn't it? It definitely is. And you know, that's one of the joys of the track, I think, is that there are so many places that you can make mistakes. A little bit like Pyeongchang, the early few corners are really critical. A little bit like Beijing, you can lose a hand. Well, and also the last couple, you know, the big left uphill. Yeah, you know, you can lose so much time. Again, a little bit like Winterberg, you can be steaming down there comfortably in the lead and come out behind, and everybody's going, where did that go?
What happened? Oh, yeah, she's ready. Look at Mel. She's like, I'm down for the cause. I'm about to send it, full send off the top. I want to get into the top 8. She's, you can see it in her eyes. She's like, Jesus is with me. Let's go.
Well,
she's so excited right now. She's currently sitting in 10th. Differential time is 2600s. But she's going to push this with all her heart, all her might. Look at those legs go. I'm excited to see what she's able to produce. Look at that, 50.
550. She
50,
needs
50.
She needs to be clean, doesn't she? She's clean so far. Tiniest of taps, and that's a nice run through the opening couple of corners.
Look, next to the Cento, into the Labyrinth, looking really nice. She didn't hang it too much.
Yeah. That tap there, again, doesn't push you away. That's okay. That's very survivable. 2/10 up, best speed.
Here we go. Belvedere to Bandian. Into K2. Like I said, this is a tricky corner, but that looks nice. 2900s up.
Just got pushed
we'll
away.
Get to Antelo and Cristallo.
Second best speed behind Cynthia Apia.
Now she's going through the chicane. A couple of taps in the chicane. Now she's in Tofana. And
she's
to
going to
Ampezzo.
lose. She is going to lose time. She's not going to lose all of it. Should still have a quarter of a second, maybe
Uphill
3
section.
tenths.
46
Held all of it.
There
Okay.
it is. Look, she was ready to lay it down, and she did. Congrats, Melissa.
All right, so what we're learning now is if you've got good speed, going sideways into Tofana is not the nail in the coffin that going sideways into 14, 15 in Altenburg would be. So you can survive that.
Look at that low heel drive. She's like, I want to give it all I have. Ooh. Here we go.
Now you get nudged away a little there. There's the fillet at the top of the screen comes out and pushes you sideways.
So she kind of got stuck on that right short wall, then it just kind of pushed her over to the left. Couple taps there.
And again, same as in Altenburg when you get to that left, whip on.
Good. So you can see like her helmet is like pressing against her, but hey, she was able to get it done. That is exciting to see.
So Melissa Lottholtz will finish in the top 10. She leads with 9 to go. Next up for France, Margot Bock. 12th best start, 9th best downtime. Had a couple of little squirrely moments up top. One skid further down. So, as always, win, lose or draw, there is more speed to be found.
Exactly. And here we go, Margot. So you can tell by all the athletes, they have that extra little oomph in them. 57 start time.
Yeah, not quite as quick as the 55 in the first heat.
It's only 200s off. So 200s, you can kind of work with that. It's a little bit more consistent like with the first heat. So she's able to work with that. And like I said before, Margot is a very consistent driver.
Took that tap in Verzi, but it didn't ping ball her all over the place. 3rd best start, up to 2nd on the splits.
Now, in the first heat, her first half of the track was really nice, and then she started having some struggles down in the second half. So we'll see what this second heat has for her.
Down to Antelau and Cristallo. 2nd best speed. The gap's down to 16, 1700s.
Now, Cristallo, her line was a little bit higher, a little bit wavier than the other girls.
Oh, big skid.
The back end is falling away.
And Lottholtz had more speed. She's not going to catch her. She's going to slip back. She will be in 2nd place at the line. How far back? 4,500. She stays in 2nd.
She's high-fiving Tina.
She stays in 2nd by 100th ahead of Denmark's Maja Voigt.
Wow.
Whoa. Now, what runner choice did she have? Because I didn't quite...
So her second run...
Didn't really see the mistakes there that would have taken that much speed away.
It's the second half of the... It's the Cristallo. It's
bottom half of the track again,
Antelau and Cristallo. Clearly there's a lot of speed that's lost there. The top of the hill is the top. We've seen what happens there. Now what's happening in this middle section to the bottom where you're supposed to have those top speeds, you can lose a lot real fast.
Yeah.
And so she actually skids
very
really high.
Sideways.
Yeah, that was where the
sideways.
speed went, and now it's still, her back end is still braking on the corner.
So all the way through Tofano, she's just bleeding off speed, and there you are going uphill. Next up is Kristen Busnowski, our debutante from Canada.
Better start time than the first heat. First heat she had a 5:51, now she has a 5:47. Really skittish into Sinto, which is corner 3. Now she's entering into the labyrinth.
Yeah, she
High
tapped
on
in
labyrinth
Sirius as
1.
well. So the first 4 corners have not gone well for her, and you can see that she's tumbling down from 1st position at the start down to 5th.
And Bandian into...
Yeah, Belvedere Bandian through K2. And heading on down to Antelau and Cristallo in free fall now. All of those skids have just robbed the sled of speed.
And she has a bit of wave in there, so that's going to take a little bit of speed out.
Yeah. Definitely not the second heat that she was looking for. Boo, she's going to be out the tail of the field.
High on the exit of Ampezzo.
All right, well, there you go. 11th place. 11th best run, 9th place overall with still 7 sleds to go. Not the second run she needed, but the first heat shows that it is in there.
About a second back on that second heat. I know that hurts a little bit.
Exactly a second slower.
Exactly. But again, these are also in preparation for the games. So see. Yeah, she's falling off the corner, so she taps going into Cento.
Well, she tapped going into Stries, came late out of there, tapped through Verzi, skidding into Cento, late in and out of the labyrinth, and yeah, just about... just about every training mistake came back to haunt her there in that second run.
I hate those moments.
Yeah.
But those are all learning moments. They're all learning moments.
And they happen. And they happen. She was 0.3 off the lead, 2400ths off the lead, Kim Kalicki. Melissa Lottholz of Canada leading from Margot Bock and Maya Voigt. Kalicki, as you documented in the first heat, struggling with pneumonia at the moment. 5.68. 5.66 in the first heat.
A little early on to Verzi. Also a little early out. So a couple taps here and there, but
and the waves.
She has a lot more corners left. There's a lot more to do.
Yeah, the speed's not going to be good, though. She's already dropped to 6th place on the splits behind Melissa Lottholz. 9th best speed. All of those waves and taps early on have just taken the speed away. She can put on the silk gloves and drive as smoothly as she likes down here, but it's not going to slice that time deficit by much.
A little wavy and Cristallo. We'll take that tap. That's one of the ones we'll just take.
Well, again, she's not going to be an awful lot quicker on this run than Kristen Burjanowski. 61.03 for Kristen, 60.49.
I'm going to say the Canadians are just having a ball.
Yeah.
I'd say Cynthia and Mel, they've been in the leader box.
Mel is living it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Kalicki, this is what sport is about. This is grinding it out when there is no alternative but to drag your sick body out of bed and get on with it. It's not pretty. It's not rewarding in any way, but she has to do it.
Yeah, look at that. Trying to line it up so she can see around that corner.
And at least tomorrow in the women's sled, she'll have Leonie behind her, so it won't all be her body desperately trying to heave the sled off the line.
She's like, I'm out. Okay, I'm done.
Beginning of any season, getting pneumonia is bad. Getting pneumonia any time is bad enough, but beginning of Olympic season, boy.
It's tough.
Yeah, okay, so now we're into the real medal hunt.
Lisa.
6 sleds covered by 1700s. The most successful. 5:38 equals the track start record set by Maya Voigt. There we go.
All right, nice, nice.
Little wave.
Those moments where we kind of want to hold our breath, but then not.
Square tap into second and third part of the labyrinth. She's losing
the back end a little bit. You see her working really hard off that corner, coming out of the labyrinth.
And she's paying for it with the speed. 2/10.
Well, let's see what happens. It was a little bit early onto K2, a little bit of trouble going into there.
That's the lead gone.
And Cristallo high line.
I think Melissa Lottholz hangs on in the leader's box. 11th best speed. She's got nothing left.
She's in trouble.
It's all uphill from here. And when you do your track walk, you find out how high uphill it is. 700.
And by 200.
Whoa.
Where did she find that? Tina is tucked deep in Melissa's jacket. She's like, well, I still was able to get a couple hundreds.
There is something about a monobob that just works for Lisa Bukvits. It doesn't hurt that she starts gangbusters, but she just, even when it's all going horribly wrong, she somehow rescues it.
Now, she caught it late going into Cristallo.
Yeah.
And so she is a little wavy, but she has the speed still.
Mom, Tina. Oh, really?
Oh, her mom's name is Tina. You know, fun fact, my mom's name is also named Tina.
All right, so Lisa Bukvits is the leader with 5 to go. Well, she was 1700ths off the lead. She only just crept in ahead of Melissa Lottholz, who was 3/10 off the lead. I think that possibly takes Bukvitz out of the medals, but the remaining five sleds have to be clean.
Yeah.
And this is just a 2-heat race.
I know. Can you imagine 4 heats?
Man, the Olympics are going to be insanity. 5:47, good start. A little quicker than her first.
Okay, a little early entry into Verzi.
Little tap, but it doesn't phase her. She just nurses it through.
She is a very experienced pilot. She knows it's game time. She knows everyone's bringing it. There's not many sleds after her, so she can only do so much to get that lead and stay in the lead.
Look for the speed on the left. Second best speed behind Melissa Lottholtz. And she's already in the green over Lisa Bukvitz. Now, she had 500s from the first heat of an advantage. She's adding to that. Best speed for Brianna Walker.
Antaleo into Cristallo.
And again, Bree and a monobob sled, there is something special about...
She's dangerous.
Yeah. Running away.
Wow, look at her go.
And this isn't her suddenly finding speed. This is where Bukvitz lost the speed, and that's why suddenly the gap's yawning.
That part. 3,400's up, and she's in first.
59.85 in the first heat, 59.78 in the second. Rare day, Pierre Ludes with a broad grin on his face.
Of course, he's all...
Yes, because she executed twice. 600ths of a second between the two runs.
And that's why those two are such a dynamic duo, because they know how to get it done. She follows directions, which every coach loves.
Yep.
Just do what I tell you to do, and you'll be fine.
Yep.
So yeah, the second corner she entered a little bit early, so she got pushed away just a pinch, but she was able to avoid that second tap for the left short wall going into Sento.
Yeah. She was driving the sled there. It wasn't being driven by impacts with the wall. And again here...
And we see those 3 pressures. You see that? Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Hi, crew. Love you guys. Ah, you're welcome. We love you too.
She may not have been talking to us, but we'll take it. All right, so Bree Walker leads, 4 to go.
Here we go. We got Kaylee Humphreys on the line.
Here is the defending Olympic champion, first ever women's monobob Olympic champion. So a lot on the line for Kaylee Humphreys. Started 5:56 first heat, 5:56 in the second.
Consistency is key.
Yep. And as we saw with Brianna Walker, if you can get a clean second run in, ooh, little wavy again at the back of the sled for Kaylee.
Little wavy. 900s back.
She had a 400s advantage over Bree from the first heat. She's nearly a 10th back, but she's halved that and better speed. Here we go. So she survived the first few corners, and now from Belvedere to Bandion and down into Antalao and Cristallo, she's going to build that advantage. She's level.
There it is.
Now, how far ahead can she get?
Nice. A little late going in there, but
she was at least pointing in the right direction, and that's going to help. Very close.
Very close.
It could be a dead heat.
Oh,
it's not. All right.
10th back. And that was the energy left out of Cristallo to Tofana.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of action going on there. There was a little bit of wave, too much, not enough speed, and she lost it in somewhere in that corner. But that was a good run from Kaylee Armbruster Humphreys. So she's working really hard here. She has the runners cranked. She's trying to get off that corner, but then she straightens it back up so she doesn't really drive that sled into the wall.
Yeah.
So that could have been that.
A bump and a skid. And here in Cristallo, keeping it nice and level. The sled was just a little tail happy up top. All right. She will learn from that with Shauna Roebuck here helping with the coaching. They both raced on the old track. 3 to go. Lauren Alter from Germany, our 2-time world champion. We've just seen the defending Olympic champion. We've got 2 world champions next up from the last 2 seasons. 5:44, again, starting strongly.
A little early on in that second corner.
Takes the tap, but again, like Bree Walker, she was
big
driving
waves
the sled.
in Sento, big waves. We'll see what that does to the energy of the sled. Sometimes you can build a lot more speed with a bigger wave as well.
You allow the sled to keep its momentum. Only the 6th best speed. She's a 10th in front of Brianna Walker.
Now he knows what happens when you work too hard off of K2. That was a nice little exit.
Yep, speed's gone. Gaps down from a 10th to 800ths.
Shoots the chicane, goes into Fauna.
Speed's back. So she's right there in amongst the fastest sleds, and she's still in the green.
Going up in the uphill section, crossing
It's
the
the
finish
lead
line.
by 1600ths and a new track record.
Wow. Look at these ladies go.
That was a good second run from Lauren Alter. Not error-free, but she managed to build her speed back up again.
Better, but not
to us or
perfect.
what? Yeah. Do you know what? Whoever takes the gold medal in the Olympic Games will be better, but not perfect.
Exactly. I will take better.
Perfect on this track? I don't think that's happening.
I know. I think it'll take more than the 60 runs that we may or may not have.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I'll tell you something else. The Italians aren't going to be perfect.
Perfect run, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
All right. She leads by 1600ths.
Here we go.
Katie Humphries in third, 2600ths back. So big gaps opening up in the field. Keisha Love, the reigning world champion. She's only got to beat a two-time world champion and the Olympic champion to stay in the lead. See, those are the odds when you're at the top of the pile.
Here we go.
5:37, new start record.
Oh, did that tie the last start record?
No, 100th quicker.
Nice.
So she was fastest in the first heat with the start record. She's 200ths faster in the second heat with a new start record, and 1500ths up and safely out of the first corner in the labyrinth. And that was one of the best exits we've seen.
Yes, it has been, Martin. And she's flying now. She knows that she can do it. She's already seen it done. She's like, wow, I'm already here. Just do the same thing.
But sixth best speed. So to keep that control, she's had to cut the ice. Now we find out whether the long-term effect of that is better than the skids and all of the time lost from that.
Little trouble in the chicane, but
1200ths up. I'm not convinced that that was only the 12th best speed, but let's see where we get to. Uphill to the line. She's dropping behind.
little push. Yeah, she
Lauren
got pushed
Alter
down
leads.
a little bit. The last two corners, just a couple little mistakes on that exit and entrance of the last two, but that's pretty good for a first time at the track.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, good job, Keisha.
1500ths back, 100th ahead of Brianna Walker. She guarantees herself a medal. Bree will have to wait 2 minutes to find out who gets the other one. So Keisha in second, Lauren Alter leads. Well, we only had one tie last year in the medals. That was in race one in Lillehammer, where Brianna Walker and Keisha Love shared the gold. Keisha's not going to share.
Well.
She's not sharing with Bree today. She's 100th ahead of her. That's the top three. So, Mel Hasler, Melly, 700ths is the lead. Let's see what the Swiss driver can produce. Started strongly, 5:48, fifth fastest in the field. Everybody's found 100th or two.
She did 48 in the first heat. Let's see what she has. Oh,
She finds
47.
100th. All right.
She's like, I'm bringing the heat.
But-
Let's go.
So 400 up on Lauren Alter.
A little tap, but it's okay.
And again, her race is with the track. It's not with anybody else. It's just trying to replicate what she did in the first heat. She drops into the red.
Now, she's been having a couple taps on these exits. They've been square taps, but it's enough to slow her down. Let's see if she can bring it back in those areas that we said you can.
Little high in K2. Speed is not coming back.
1700s back.
This is going to be the gold medal for Lauren Alter as she's out of the podium positions. Switzerland's wait for a bobsleigh gold in the women's field continues.
Nice exit going into the final corner.
It's a top five. It's not. It's a top seven finish.
Wow.
Lauren Alter wins it. Lauren Alter wins gold. Silver.
Jesus, she doesn't even.
Silver for Keisha Love. Brianna Walker hangs on for the bronze. And Melly Hasler drops to 7th place behind Melissa Lottholtz.
Wow. Wow. But the thing is she knows that she can do it. And that's the biggest thing about any athlete in any sport.
Yep.
Once you see it, you know you can replicate it, but that's about the repetition.
And there's something very, very different being the last one out of the changing room.
So different.
And having to do it again. Chasing and trying to do it again is one thing. Being in the lead, having the place empty around you, and then having the calm to go out and just, without thinking about it, repeat. Toughen off on a track you know well, really hard on a track you don't.
Yeah,
you know,
to hone it back in.
For Laura, for Keisha, for Bree, they were chasing.
Yes.
They were striving to go
Mel was
faster.
defending.
Mel, yeah, it's
difficult.
It's a head thing.
It's difficult to defend, but it's really easy to chase because you have something to reference. You have something to go after. But defending, that's a whole different other mindset.
Well, the last win for Switzerland in women's bobsleigh was Fabienne Meyer in Koenigsee, January 2014.
Figure it out.
So 11, nearly 12 years waiting. It's like she's never been in the leaders box. So
it's a special place to be at the very beginning of the season. You get to have so much fun.
I don't think she was expecting that. Lauren Alter is the winner. She takes gold from Keisha Love and Brianna Walker. The Olympic champion Kaylee Humphries in 4th from Lisa Buchwitz, our World Cup winner, and Melissa Lottholtz. Mel Hasler slips to 7th ahead of Margot Bock, the sensational new slider Maya Voigt, and Kim Kalicki rounding out the top 10. Two very different stories there. Kalicki gets kudos for just showing up. Deborah Annan ahead of Katy Biles. Cynthia Appiah climbed from 20th to 13th. That was a good recovery drive. Bush slipped a couple to tie with Linda Wyszewski. And welcome as well to rookie Enola Blatti for Switzerland. Well, there you go. We have our Olympic champion finishing 4th, our Olympic silver medalist in monobob finishing 19th. That tells you all you need to know about this track.
We've seen those three before, huh?
Yeah, well, they are not strangers to the podium. Lauren Alter won the season opener last year in Altenburg. Bree Walker won the finale in Lillehammer. And Keisha Love tied with Bree in the penultimate race in Lillehammer for that gold. Well, that's it for monobob. This afternoon, we're back in action with the men. The two-man competition starts at 1. That's midday GMT. That's 0700 Eastern. We'll see you then. Until then, from Sylvia Hoffman, Martin Haven, and the rest of the crew in Cortina, arrivederci and ciao.
Arrivederci.
Laura, herzlichen Glückwunsch. Wir haben uns ja im Vorfeld unterhalten und Sie haben gesagt, diese Bahn macht so viel Spaß. Das hat sich ja heute nochmal bestätigt. Sie wirkten aber ein bisschen überrascht.
Ja, tatsächlich, weil ich muss sagen, ich habe den oberen Part nicht so gut getroffen. Der untere Part hat schon gesessen, im ersten sowie im zweiten. Aber der obere Part war schon sehr schwierig heute im Mono. Aber scheinbar hatten alle die Probleme und deswegen bin ich so happy, dass es geklappt hat. Ja.
Es ist ja bekannt, dass der obere Teil schwierig ist, aber war die Bahn jetzt im Vergleich zum Training noch mal anders? Es ist ja immer dann noch mal so ein bisschen Unterschied. Manchmal wird es schneller. Und war das Problem, worauf Sie sich einstellen mussten?
Ja, dadurch, dass es so kalt ist hier aktuell, war das Eis extrem hart und dann reagieren die Kufen ziemlich schlecht. Und ich lenke mal ein bisschen zu wenig. Ich lasse den Bob gerne laufen und das ist dann hier für den oberen Teil aber zu wenig. Da müssen wir bis zum Spiel noch ein bisschen an dem Timing arbeiten, aber wir kommen ja dann im Februar wieder.
Aber Ihr fahrerisches Talent hat sich ja im unteren Teil dann bewahrheitet, ne? Da haben Sie die Kiste richtig laufen lassen.
Ja, genau, das kommt mir halt total entgegen. Ähnlich wie in Peking, da war es ja auch schon so, dass man den Bob laufen lassen kann. Und das macht mir einfach Spaß. Zudem muss ich sagen, die Startzeiten haben heute mega gut ausgesehen. Also Props an meinen Trainer David Korell nach Frankfurt. Wir haben auch hart gearbeitet diesen Sommer und es hat sich ausgezahlt.
So, weil wir gerade mit dem Spaß begonnen haben, wird denn heute reingefeiert?
Nee, genau, morgen werde ich ein Jährchen älter. Aber wir gehen natürlich früh schlafen, denn das Rennen ist ja morgen wieder um 9:30 Uhr.
Aber die Eltern sind morgen da und vielleicht gibt es eine Überraschung.
Ja, vielleicht. Sie sind auf jeden Fall da und ich bin richtig froh, dass Sie hier sind.
Viel Erfolg morgen und ich hoffe, es wird ein ähnlich schöner Tag wie heute.
Dankeschön, das hoffe ich auch.